Hello, this is Daisy Joy at Adventure Acres. This is kind of a reboot. I wanted to take a video yesterday, but unfortunately the wind was problematic. Thankfully it's died down just for a little while this evening so that I could take this video. What I wanted to show you yesterday was that Mr. Adventure had been working on a project this past weekend, and so I kind of wanted to go through the reasons for it and to kind of explain why we're doing what we're doing and kind of explain the format of the layout right now that we're trying to figure out. Bug. Okay, so here's the deal. If I had to explain why I do what I do, why I have the page, why I do the videos, it's because I know that I'm in a unique position to share what I learned with other people who may be struggling with some of the things that I'm struggling with, and that the challenges that I face. I have multiple sclerosis. I have had a spinal injury. I have to do things differently when it comes to homesteading. And so I thought, I might as well bring you guys along for the process. Anybody who can learn anything from it should be able to benefit from my experience. When I was first starting off, I watched, before we even got here, I watched so many homesteading videos and followed homesteading pages online. I loved how great it was that people would give other people a boost up and say, hey, I'm starting off, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out as I go. But I want you to know that this is what, this is what I've learned. This is what my experience has taught me. And I want to be able to do that for other people. And so in my unique position as someone who has, physical challenges and logistical problems, if I can help other people figure those things out, if you can get the benefit of my experience ahead of time, then I am excited and delighted to be able to help. And so the big thing when it comes to this homestead and what I'm trying to do online and what I'm trying to share is that if you are interested in homesteading, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a place that's set up perfectly. You figure things out as you go. Bugs. There are bugs along the way. But the big thing is, I want to encourage people who may think, I can't do this. This is too big. I don't know how I would manage. And, here's some things that help me. So here is the layout, the new gist of how we're doing things here. We got here and we had some things set up. We had to adjust our expectations. So one thing is just the setup. We're starting off with somewhere where there's a lot of recon. There's a lot of, you see over here, our whole lane. That's a whole year's worth of work probably if we just dedicated an entire year to working on the lane. There's a lot of parts of this place that are kind of stacked against us, so we have to stack the deck in our favor. So starting off, one of the things that Mr. Adventure is really good at is troubleshooting. That is his special gift. He's got a knack for it. And so he, when I started off, when I started off, chores were overly complicated, and I was so grateful that Mr. Adventure came in and he streamlined the process, and I can talk more about that later. Right now, I'm just talking about the layout and how we have things set up and how we're hoping to streamline the process of just kind of the general flow of things here. Now, if you'll notice, okay, we have we will finish getting it painted, but that is our chicken coop and run, and that's also our little brooder coop. And there's our duck coop. Our little blue barn is back there, and there's Mr. Adventure. So the layout of things is, when we've been setting it up, especially recently, one of the things that I wanted to do was to streamline the process, get it kind of front and center. because we did have it set up so that the birds, our laying flock, was out in the little blue barn. And so, hi. The flock was out in the barn. It was kind of off and out of the way. So we have it set up so that the flocks are front and center. We can monitor them. We can observe them from our house. So that's handy. I don't have to walk out to the other part of the homestead to check on them. I can just look out the window. That's pretty handy. Okay, so there's that. And also, we have it set up when the duck coop went up first, and then the chicken coop. We have each coop is set up differently according to the needs of the flock. And so that's another way to stack the deck in our favor. Also, this fall, right before we went off to the Homesteaders of America conference, Mr. Adventure set up my compost bin, my new compost bin. He did a really great job. It looks really nice. And it's right here, right outside my front door. My front door is right over there. If I have scraps that are not edible scraps for the, if it's moldy, something or other, we can bring it right out here, right to the compost, right outside the front door. I don't have to haul it all the way to the other side of the world. Stack the deck in your favor. So we are setting it up to kind of so that I can reserve my energy for things that may require more effort. And if you kind of streamline the process, it makes it a lot easier to do the more physical aspects of the job. So I'm taking you out. We have all sorts of plans over here. This is our garbage pile. We need to do another garbage haul. Now, one of the crummy things about being out here in the homestead, they come and get our garbage once a month. So one of the things that we're looking into is kind of, when we lived in Japan, we had to sort our garbage out. We might need to kind of do that a little bit to kind of minimize our garbage. We can maybe burn some of it. It's a process of figuring things out. Okay, so this is what Mr. Adventure was working on this past weekend while I was gone at the ladies' conference. And he surprised me. He sent me a picture of what he was working on. And so I was surprised that that's what he was doing. But anyway, so let's see if I can show you. This is my raised bed planter that he's worked on. And I'm 6 foot tall. I could lay down in this and have an extra couple feet. It's rather sizable. Trying to show you. Now this is all salvaged materials. These are pallets, heat treated pallets. And he used these metal grates of sorts as like a holding thing, and they'll probably rust, but they're plenty sturdy enough that they will hold the dirt in place. We're going to put fabric, landscaping fabric down in here, and also probably maybe some tarps or something to keep the dirt in. And so that is the setup that we have here that he finished. And we'll decorate it up and make it pretty, throw a couple of barn quilts on there, or make it look nice, put some flower boxes along the edge and kind of dress it up. One of the things that I love about this is that he asked me where I would like it, and I said, okay, it's helpful that it's ergonomic. I can reach in there for both sides and meet the middle. I can reach everything in there, but also it's right next to the water, which is brilliant, because our old garden was over there between the tree and Rufus's run. I would burn off all of my energy just hauling the hose out there or hauling buckets of water out there. And there's a storm coming. I'm picking up on that weather spotter training. But you know, this is a really great way to, you know, make efficient use of my energy, because the water's right here. I can just spray, spray, spray and be done. So, so that's what is set up here. And then you'll see in the backyard area, pardon it, our mess. We're in a bit of a transition right now. Now, this area here is where the trampoline was. Now, you know, it's already kind of been primed for the option of, oh, hello critter. Oh, there was a little snake. This is all ready to go. We're planning on putting our fire pit here and having it set up. We'll probably move our patio furniture out here and our maybe make a bench or something to sit on so that we're all here by the fire and whatnot. And over there you can see, you know, little kid toys and stuff, and we'll probably, you know, set that area up over there as like the kids play area, and that's where their playhouse is, and the trampoline will go. And also, oh, I want to show you my herb garden. I'm so excited about this. I worked on it last year when it was kind of toward the end of the planting season, and I was a little worried that it might not come back, because some of the plants were starting to sprout up right before the big blizzard on my birthday. So I didn't know if they were going to come back, but you can see I can actually smell the herbs. The wind is catching the smell and bringing them up to me. So there's those. And over here, there's some planted there. And over here, they're coming back. I couldn't be more excited. Right there. And my yarrow, I've never actually heard that word said out loud. But I do know what they are. And these little guys here. And of course our rhubarb. Lady Bird, she planted the rhubarb. She planted some... Okay, this is why I love perennials. Okay, one of the things is conserving energy, right? And okay, I haven't planted anything this season. It's barely past winter. It was snowy. But look here. There is asparagus that is growing up in the garden. That wasn't there like 2 days ago. Where's asparagus? Oh my word. Perennials, I'm telling you. You know, I have to say, it is awesome to have something to harvest. I could, you know, I would love to set up the garden out there as there's strawberries that are planted. And there's asparagus back there. Lady Bird, my mother-in-law, planted those. And that is just a beautiful thing to be able to, without planting anything, have something. I already have something I can harvest right now. Perennials are where it's at. So there's the planter back there that Mr. Adventure finished over the weekend. I would like to, over here by the compost, I'll go back to where we started off. I would like to set up a couple of more. That's my nefarious plan, if I can get him to cooperate and maybe put it in. Uh-oh. I hear rain a couple fields over. It's coming. I better make it hasty. But okay, so here is a spot right here. Now you'll notice, aside from our egg basket that got tossed around by the wind, there are these horrible, insipid little plants growing in this spot. They're no good. They are called poison hemlock. So they pretty much cancel out the option of that being a good place to plant anything straight in the dirt or offering the area as grazing spot, because they're poisonous. And so what I would like to do is to yank up as many plants as we can of the hemlock, put down some landscaping fabric, and heavily mulch the area and put a shade bedding there for maybe kitchen garden shade plants and whatnot, because there's trees there and over there. So it's a heavily shaded area. It's not going to be prime location for plants that need a lot of sun, but there are plants that you can plant there that would do well in the shade and maybe even better. And okay, another thing, Mr. Adventure is planning on, well, we've talked about this, of putting in a woodshed right here. Now that's our front door right there. And here is where the, oh, hi kitty. How's it going? It's handy to have things right where you need them. To have it set up so that in the winter, if I need to come out and boom, there's the woodshed right there where I can access it easily and bring it inside without having to tromp through 9 miles of snow and past twigs and stuff. And, you know, setting it up so that it's easy to get to stuff. That helps a lot. So, you know, we'll talk about this more as time progresses, the ways that we're trying to stack the deck in our favor and streamline and, you know, the buzzwords of you know, making things easier for us, because it's hard enough when you have these sort of physical challenges in your life, but if you're trying to do, you know, homesteading on its own is very physically taxing. But if you can stack the deck in your favor and you can set it up so that it's very doable and manageable, then why not? You know, what you can burn all of your energy out before you ever get out the gate, or you can do what you can to make it easier. And so that's our goal, our objective for this year, is to set it up for success. So the wind is starting to pick up and I'm starting to hear a little bit of thunder in the distance. So I'm glad I grabbed this little section of time while it was nice enough to take a video outside. I hope everything's going well where you are. And I'm heading inside now. Catch you later. If I can figure out how to shut the stupid thing off.